and that would be like a moving slice that you put inside the cube. And then we can play a bit with the scanned object. And I'll show you when you can find some interesting effects that you can apply to the object. Oh, okay. First, I will show you how to get the object as a source for the VFX graph, and then um, then the and then how to apply effects to it. So, almost there. And then we will put everything into one big scene and explore it in VR. So this should be. Mhm, mhm. Ah, okay. So let's first go back to the cube with our scientific data. I hit it here, all the boxes, and we open the template, the graph. And what I will want to do now is, wait, just prepare everything. So, mm, so now on the volume object, the volume graph, what I want to do is to select one slice of of the graph and make that slice like set the transparency for that slice separately so that you will have the transparent cube mostly, and then one slice of the cube uh, will have a different level of transparency, lower levels of transparency. So um, you will you will have this non-transparent slice moving inside that partially transparent cube.
Just to remind, as a reminder, and also it's very bright outside. I tried, but I think it's maximum brightness for.
Okay.
So if you want to show something on the visual graph, make sure to zoom in. I will look if there is like bright theme for visual graph meanwhile.
Mm, I don't know if it's.
It's in preferences. No need for this. Edit, preferences. And there should be general editor theme.
Yes, but I've already changed that.
Ah, okay. So I will.
It doesn't affect it doesn't affect the graph.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'll try to make everything very large when
Yeah,
doing it.
from quick Google, it seems like they just didn't do that.
Yeah. Okay, so the slice. There's two ways to implement this. And one would be to go into this main graph. And we had something, yes. And here to set or multiply alpha by some value for cells that are in certain position. Another would be to create a completely separate graph. So basically copy and paste this whole thing. And in that separate graph, only render that single slice. Now, the easier way to do it is, of course, to copy the graph and do a separate one. And because then basically you just leave the wait. Yeah, then basically you just render the single slice. The more optimized way would be to somehow modify the property, the alpha property somewhere here when we are setting the alpha and multiplying it to like remultiply it back. So based on a certain position of our um, of our of some coordinate that we set. I think the second way is actually the better way. It doesn't matter that much because you want to be rendering the whole. I mean, if you copy the graph, then you have another graph there. You will need a little bit more memory, and you will need to set all those things separately. Uh, I mean, but also maybe it's actually what you want that. Mm, but yeah, let's do it the easier way, and that's just what I said. Basically copy the graph uh, and remove stuff from it, stuff that we don't need. So I zoom out so that I can select the whole graph, which was doing the cubes, and duplicate it, move it so that I have some space around it. And then, since the original graph was a 3D cube, that we will, instead of a 3D cube, just make it into a 1D slice. We can decide which of the coordinates to drop. So in my example here, just that it's same, I drop the x coordinate. So I will only need y by z points here. So first delete this so that the number of points is correct. Then here I know that I will never need that many points. So now I have 900. So I'll just delete 10 here. And this graph is 10 times smaller than the other. And that shouldn't really give you problems. And now we need to decide. How. Okay. So now we need to decide how to set the correct coordinate. Again, we're using this index to UVW. From the index to UVW, we only wait, let me think. I'm kind of surprised that this is working. Shouldn't work, but... Oh, because the sampling is okay. So now from the index UVW, again, what the UVW was doing is it just giving us a 3D vector with coordinates inside the texture. And now instead of generating the whole cube, we will just generate one slice. But since this operator always starts at 0, and there's like we would have to change the operator if we wanted to push one of the coordinates to the side, we will just keep it as this. So we will let it generate just one slice with one coordinate set to 0. So with only one cell in that coordinate that we removed. So I delete here this maximum x and set it to 1. Because this is not the coordinate, this is the number of cells. So there will be one cell in the x direction and the predefined number of cells in the other directions. But now, if I do this, okay, that's the position, and here I remove this multiply alpha, and instead I will always have the alpha set to 0.5, for example. I'll just quickly show what should be the result. Yeah. And you see that I have this, I now have one of the slices much more visible than the other slices. But it's the first slice, yeah, the one with coordinates 0 and 0 in the x direction. So what I need to get into the graph now, because we will want to move the slice, we somehow need to get some other, like some variable number here into the position x. Yeah. So how I do it is I delete the connection here. Yeah, sorry. Just tell me if I forget to zoom in correctly. So my new position, like, will be some 3D vector. So I grab the connection point here and just find a vector 3 operator. And from the vector free operator, I connect the z coordinate, the y coordinate, and the x coordinate. I, for example, try 10 now. And I also deleted the connection that went from the UVW output to the sample texture output, because I also need to sample in the correct slice. And the correct slice is now what's coming out of this vector. So I make another connection like this. So now what's happening is I'm getting the particle ID. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you drag out of the position, or you can right click and go create node, and there should be a vector 3 node. Yeah. So now again, what's happening? I'm only spawning 30 by 30 particles. That's y times z. And I need to also generate the correct coordinates for the cubes. So first I generate the slice, y times z, a single slice. So what I'm getting here is the indices of a 2D slice. And the third coordinate will be variable, so that I can then move the slice along that axis. Yeah. So this coordinate here is always 0, and I don't want it in my output because that's the coordinate I want to change. So I need to create some intermediate vector and connect the y coordinate to the vector and the z coordinate for the vector. That's generated by the algorithm that generates the slice. And the third coordinate I will manipulate, I mean, in a couple of minutes, we will manipulate that coordinate from a script. But now I just like set 10 so that I can check that it actually works. So now the correct, this vector, like all the vectors that are generated according to the particle IDs, are belonging to some slice with x equal 10, and like the rest is a 2D slice. That's how I will set the position for my new um, for my new cubes. And I also need to sample the input texture, the input data I need to sample at the correct coordinate. So I also need to modify this sample texture 3D coordinate so that it actually samples the slice I want and not just the first slice. And the rest, I think, should stay the same, more or less. So now, hopefully, I should see. Oh, okay. Okay. So what happened now? I forgot what are my coordinates actually, because because the UVW vector is always between 0 and 1. I've put 10 here. That's not correct, because what should have been here is a number between 0 and 1. I was confused because here we say that we want 30 cells. But whatever number we put here, it's always scaled to a number between 0 and 1. That's actually what this operator is doing. So I should put something like 0.5 here. because again, our cube is 1 meter when it comes out of the graph, but we make it big in the we make it big here in the by changing the scale here. So now you see that the slice is moved correctly to the middle of our file. Okay. So again, after first you copy the whole graph, and then delete the x component from the initializer. Then in initialize particle, you reduce the capacity, because you know that you will always have like something in like lower thousands of the cells here. And then here in the index to UVW, you're again only setting Y and Z, and you set X to 1, so that you get 1 by 30 by 30 cells. And then you need to modify the first coordinate of the slice so that it's in the position where you actually want it. Okay? Oh? Yeah.
I don't understand last part.
What?
Um,
Mhm.
what
This looks okay, or what's
and what I need to copy again?
Yeah. So this is the copy, yeah?
The copy.
Yes, yes.
First. Okay.
Yeah, 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 it's okay, it's okay. Yeah. You got it?
Yeah, yeah, I have the slides, but I don't see big particles.
And you've seen them before? Okay, then go to the graph. Just stop on the menu. Increase the intensity just put on plus or like what the rapid intensity slider. Yeah. And give it some color. Okay. So go to the object. And check that here that we have the position texture connect. Yes. Yeah. You need to connect the position texture here. Yeah. Yeah. Over here.
Do they need to put in this, or what do they need to put in? Like the big one? Because they modify
No,
it.
okay. Can I get them out?
Yeah.
So what you should have topic was like, it's like. Oh, but you also look at some from the original. So now we will only have the slice in there. That thing.
Паналоги Баранды пап з проєктом. Я зайшов, мої сцени там немає.
This is the number of cells.
Може вже до інформацію. А можливо, це S, наскільки я пам'ятаю, пекарі.
Я їх не вирішив,
Окей.
щойно перезривав, воно в library завантажило наново, я так розумію. Але сцени,
Що ви
This will be the size.
пошука, відновлені в library назад, але воно все правильно робило, а тепер просто нічого не робить.
You need to
Ну, а
get
якщо
the
повторити цю чудову річ, то всі файли там є, але сцени немає, не знайдемо.
Ну, давайте чекаємо, поки відкриється.
І оце щось там робити, це не потрібно.
Я думаю, що це все, бачите, залишилось документів 0, воно там, можливо, воно побачило, що вже є нові файли, і там зараз якийсь конфлікт дивний. Воно не закривається, так?
Не пробувати.
Можна, перше, називається, якщо project 1, щось там це. Прошу побачити. У нас на робочому столі. Ви не можете знайти сцену.
Ну, так, мабуть.
Взагалі ніяко?
Я буду відкрив, там був користував, як на початку. Всі файли.
yes.
Ну, давайте зараз почекаємо.
Чекайте, вони повернулися.
Можливо, через те, що відновили. Ну, тобто, воно працює. Добре, воно працює.
Okay, so now we will want to move the slice, so to add some interactivity here. So here, instead of getting 0.5, we will add a new float to the blackboard and call it, for example, slice position. And we connect slice position here. Make some space. Slice position. Yeah. Another thing I will need to do So you connect the slice position to the x-coordinate of your intermediate vector. And here we were setting the position in the initialize block. But if we want it to be movable, this has to be in the update block. So what you can do is you grab the set position block and drop it here. So that's in the update particle block. Yeah. Original, I had it here. Now I want to put it here. Same goes for the color, but that's fine. You should already have the color in the update block and not in the initialize particle block. So I will move stuff around a little bit. Just for you to see it better. It really doesn't matter where it is, but so now everything happens here in the update particle block. So move it to update particle instead. Yeah, because you had it here in initialize particle. So if it were here, we couldn't manipulate it from the outside. Instead, we need to have it in update particle. So if you do this and go back to the scene and open, there will be a new slice position variable here. And if you move it, your slice will change position. You see, you can move it outside. That's like, we can limit this later, but the important thing now is that we can put the value between 0 and 1 here, and it will move the slice somewhere in the cube and give you the view into the cube from that point.
So I can perhaps share this file you've been working on this whole time.
Sorry?
Would you please share this file you've been working on, the volume one?
I can, but if I share the file, just the single file, then the connections will not be there because it uses this subgraph operator. So what I need to share is a piece of the whole project. So later I will share the whole project with you.
Just had some issues regarding the files I deleted yesterday, and while fixing them,
Okay.
I missed the whole slice explanation I'm doing, but I am very sorry.
Okay.
Or perhaps later on I ask you to explain this whole thing from the beginning.
Wait. I'll make a copy of the project and send you the share the copy of the project. Okay, so now mm, now we will create a script that will manipulate this slice position variable, and with that we can move the slice around. So create new script, slice position. And we will be doing something in the update function. We will be manipulating some visual effect. This is the type here. So one of the components is the visual effect, and the visual effect has these properties here, but the properties in a visual effect are accessed in a slightly different way than the properties of other objects. But the important thing now is that first we need to get the visual effect. So we can, for example, have a variable visual effect. If you write it like this, then the variable name should have lowercase v, and the type always needs to have a capital V here. So I saved the visual effect component, and I want to modify the position that was saved in some property of that visual effect component. So now to access properties of the visual effect, you need to know the type of the property and use a special function to get its value. So our property was a float. So I will save that original value in the variable called original. So the original will be visual effect. That's the name of the variable here. Dot get float. And here in double quotes, I need to put the exact name of that variable, how it appears in the graph. So just to make sure, I go to the graph. Look to the blackboard and copy the name that's here. And now I can again use the keyboard for that. Then later, of course, we will use one of the controllers. So input get key down. Was it input get key down? Or am I forgetting something? Input get key down. Key code. I don't know. I'll choose and M. So if I press the N key, I want to decrease the position. So I do visual effect dot set float. The name of the float I want to change. And the second parameter to the function is the new value that the float should get. So that will be original minus 0.01f, for example. And then I copy the block and change it. So if I press the M key, I will instead add 0.01. Okay? No?
The archive that you sent, this is like the current snapshot before slicing.
Yeah. No, it's with the slicing. Like when I send it, it was like
In the middle of slicing.
yes. So
Some error, I don't know why.
Oh, okay. You have the same error? Yeah.
Visual effect not found.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot. So since we're now playing with the visual effect, there is something we need to modify here in the header, because the visual effect is not directly here in the Unity engine namespace. So go to the top and here at Unity engine.vfx, because that's where the visual effect object should reside. Hopefully, if you save this and go back, save this and go back.
Also found the error, but with no behavior.
А вас visual effect знаєте? Ну, тому що це назва класу. Ну, а в принципі, не довше, що відбувається.
Could you show in the meantime the location of the slice file in the error file you just sent?
It's the
Ну так, ні, ну, тобто ви залежите, не робили в якому порядку, ви могли залишити VFX, а потім наступний пункт буде перевірити engine.
it's is this volume.vfx, but maybe you will need to copy it together with the value to color map operator and the index to UVW operator. Like first try it alone. If it doesn't work, then delete it and try and copy all three together.
Такий понимаете? Ну так,
So if you manage to do this, then you take your slice position script and put it on top of your on top of the object that has the correct visual effect, so that in the object you have, okay, I'll close this, we don't need it. So in the object you have a visual effect component, you have this slice position component, and now if you run it, then hopefully
Bye.
but you, hey, you see that you need to push the key many times if you want to move it further. So That's because get key down is true if you press the key, like at the moment you press the key. And if you want to be able to hold the key and have the slice move the whole time you're holding the key, there's this get key function through while the user holds down the key. And so we can use that instead. But since this is run at each keyframe, maybe now it will be too fast. You'll have to try that for yourself. Yeah, it's very fast. Can just like modify it to something like 0.02. And the change was that instead of get key down, I'm just using the get key function. Again, I didn't do anything about the bounds of the slice. So if I exit the cube, it just keeps the value from the last slice it has seen. That can, of course, also be fixed. So how do we fix it? We know that the position goes between 0 and 1. So what we say here is that if the position is, so we want to be able to decrease the position only if it is above 0, and to increase the position only if it is under 1. Yeah. So here I say with this, I hope, so a long time since I did that. If the user is pressing the key and at the same time, if the position, the original position, the one in the actual frame, is greater or equal to 0, and here I only increase if the original position is less or equal 1. So this now the movement of the slice. Now the movement of the slice is restricted between 0 and 1. So when you finish this, we can yeah, we can do a short break if you wish. And yeah. What? Yeah, you have here, you need both. You need both.
Важливо ось так. Це мій волюм.
Ну, просто зробити такий результат.
Так, мені залишається зробити
Ну, подивіться у вас. Просто мені...
No. The class should be the same as
Так.
this. And here the
Ви
flow
класите в пустому
must be
місці.
the same as yeah.
І от таким чином це
Including
і всі файли які затворюють на його сайті. Всі ці речі, навіть кастомні, індекс, відгадую, sample text, 3D, от всі ці речі, вони були написані в вигляді яких файлів, які їжі вам давав. Або давав, або виразно їх створював. Тобто вони мають бути в цій території. Ви їх можете, вони мають бути у вас теж. В оригінальному мають бути. І тоді, якщо вони у вас є, ви просто коли клікаєте, не тут, у своєму проєкті, коли будете клікати, і будете набирати індекс to віддалу, його буде знаходити. То все, що є стандартне в Unity, і все, що є у вас в асетах, воно доступне.
А з одного проєкту буде.
Я не знаю, спробуйте.
You have to click inside, I think. In some of it you will.
Ну, скоріше можна, тільки тепер тепер розбирайтеся, що де.
А, воно так, воно зрозуміло.
Update. This is here the manager, so start off with on the error. Click on the flight. That's okay. Look, flying and disable the questions. Now hopefully we try again. Manager also is in executive editors, maybe it will okay, so stop. Now the best thing will be okay, remove the teach manager. Oh no, that's so first remove it from here. The thing, yeah, remove it. And here teach manager object. And disable the whole object. And
Я хочу взяти рівно, бо ви повинні, щоб воно точно те, що велика літера і маленька, це різні речі, воно не може. Ну, так, воно а далі.
А можете ще показати, воно ту помилку не вибиває, але все одно не рухається.
Але бачу, немає. Ставимо ті. Звичайно. Тому що у вас тут воно вилітає від нуля, ні, навпаки. Менше від нуля.
Да, тому просто на
Німецька у вас тут Z, а тут Y, а у вас тут є умлаути, є Z, але при цьому Z і Y нормально. Я так ще не бачу. Тому може це аж свійське.
So could you take a look at the problem? I think it says that it cannot run game until all the problems are fixed, but it doesn't give any error messages. So I think I copied the exact structure.
Yeah, okay. Go back to Minute. Open the console.
Oh. Input does not exist.
Capital I think.
So
Yeah. Input. The other one as well. Okay. Again.
I think I've got the console option.
First of all,
Disable the echo.
no.
Okay. I didn't even realize. Is it? Hey, you have ukrainska there.
No.
Oh,
Much better. I don't know why it was not yet changed. I never just went to fetch it.
Like the echo mode, you would probably disable if it's on, because that
What do you see?
there's the echo like third from the
Okay,
bottom.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, normal.
Right.
It's like much better actually.
But now it's also loud.
Yeah.
So, it's fine. Actually, even I would assume this is the time when it's like if it's like no signal, it turns off.
Yeah.
I would make it 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, well, it doesn't make sense to make it bigger.
Yeah.
And this slice should be
When you press the button. No, it's an M. It's an
yeah,
M.
but in my case, these are MC.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm.
Then there are MC.
Is this, do you have the script correctly attached to the object?
No.
Then it's not doing anything.
So we should attach slicer to volume.
Yes.
Okay. And where does it show it?
Stop the game and now you have to attach it. And
Oh, wow.
you want to be
Just has the history.
nice.
Well, not the whole one, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know, last 21.
And you can also try like if there's some predefined picture settings. Usually the projectors have.
It's already much better.
Oh yeah,
Without
like for movies, games, and
Yeah,
whatever,
of course, should have
yeah,
something like that.
But this already looks, I would say, like a lot better than before.
Yeah.
It's curious that it has the slice attached to the cube without me attaching the code to the volume file.
Stop. Let's go. So on the volume, you have the visual effect. You have okay. The name of the in the script. Then open the script. The name of the float you are modifying has to be like exactly the same.
So
No. Go back to the look what it's called. It's called slide. It has to be exactly as the parameter here. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Zoom in. Nice toy.
Wait. How long is the project here? Don't tell me you never played with it before.
I refuse to answer these questions. It's always like you need to launch it fast because there's like lecture, something else, you don't have time to play with it. And somehow I never really went through the settings. But now I will definitely.
And it should also have tick near it.
No. That's okay.
Okay.
Slowly.
Yeah, but where's the slice anyway? Oh, it is there. Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so stop it. Go back to the script. And instead of get key down, just use get key.
So it will work on phone.
Yes, exactly. Because get key down just gets you the moment you pressed it. So that it's, for example, like sometimes you don't, because like if you press the key, it's usually not just one frame, it will be several frames. So if you really want the action to be triggered just once, you use get key down, and that will just like trigger once when you press the key.
Yes.
In that exact frame.
We've had something like this in the previous animation where I said that using hold would be better.
Yeah. Sometimes you want both, sometimes you just want the one action.
So yeah, I was trying. No, it does.
Echo button.
See? Echo button here. Maybe it does, but I want it to be as little intrusive as possible because people always ask how you connect to the projector. Like that's already a problem. So they won't go into the settings, change it each time. So I'll just make different presets.
Thank you very much. I am very satisfied.
They have 4 presets here. You can understand probably, but yeah, game, movie, bright movie, and dynamic. Dynamic is looking weird. but I would assume it's good because it would regulate itself depending on what is on the picture. But yeah, I'll just set up Яскраве кіно to be like the bright stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, dynamic look, right? So,
But dynamic looks, the color temperature is changed. Like now it's white, like white. I changed it, becomes yellowish.
so it works for you? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, okay, fine. You okay, also okay, like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, if it were not for the weird color temperature, it's still.
Oh, it's because this one they increase, but it doesn't change the color. Also, let me try it at the maximum. Oh yeah, well, it's too sharp, so 7. Okay. What else? What else did they, color mode. That's what they changed. Oh no, that's the mode basically. Let me see. So this is the normal one. Probably the
Yeah,
white, probably
I
the
mean,
white balance.
No,
Yes,
yeah,
white
because
balance.
because yeah, but yeah,
Because
you
here
can
it's
try
white.
that, yeah. But I mean, like usually the presets which are called something like theater or movies or stuff, they don't have they're not that extremely bright because those are actually supposed to be like run in the dark so that the colors are precise.
Night mode.
Yeah, and if and there's like some, usually they call it something like vivid or presentation mode, and that has the biggest contrast, which is also best if you have too much light.
Yeah, by the way, let's try the contrast. Okay, that's lots of contrast. Um, it's a good font. Oh yeah, can you open the VFX graph? I want to have it at the ground and see how just for like half a minute.
We need to go today at 3 p.m. and we think maybe we can do something in that because it's very interesting. And it's
Okay, like 3 p.m. and then you are gone for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rest of the day.
Okay.
Then we can
That's
just
okay.
yeah, of course. We can check the scene that you already have in VR.
Yeah. No. We can. Hey, you already imported the scanned model yesterday. Yeah. So I will very quickly show you how to put the effect on the model. That's gonna take us like, I don't know, 15 minutes. So you to try to be quick, and if someone else, I mean, we will start with that. Then you will need some time to modify your project a little bit so that you can give it to me and I can put it in VR, and the rest will have time to play with the effects.
Yeah,
Huh?
good plan. And you already know how to save the project, right? That you save assets, library utilities, no? You don't know. Okay. Yeah. Jiří will show you.
will
It's
show.
nothing complicated. You just say all this happen to archive easy so that he can like launch on the PC.
Yes. Because I don't remember. Yeah, okay. Here in project, because we are using one of these, and I forgot which. Basic collection. We were using some of the K0 effects like downloaded from.
I don't know if you were downloading, but I was opening the tab in Firefox with test batch 2, I think. Yeah.
This was this.
Ah, you mean last year's? Well, last year.
Yeah, last year. Okay, so let's try to be quick now. This works for everyone. So now let's say we finish the scientific visualization part, and we'll move. Oh, okay. Oh, Volodya, please, can you also give me another coffee?
In a way, content for the method
So everyone has imported the ply file from the scan yesterday. If you click on the ply file, the way we put it like directly here, you remember we just drag and drop it. And this is one way to get it in. The other way, and you can do it on the original file, or you can duplicate the file so that you have a second one. So I will duplicate my Shevchenko and call it Taras points. And okay, no. 5. Okay. Duplicate with Control D. Select the file you imported and click Control D. It will make a copy. And if you click here on this little arrow, okay, now you just see the mesh. And if you like click on the file name again, go to the inspector and you see this container type parameter. So container type is mesh now. Change that to texture and click apply. And now the object will look something like this. And if you click on the arrow, you should see two textures here. One is called color map and the other is called position map. Okay? So you duplicated the file. Click on the scan and Control D. Then here, then go to the inspector of the file, go to container type, change it to texture, and click apply. And it should give you, then when you click the little arrow, it should give you color map and position map here. Got it? Yeah. And as you remember, we were in the visual effect, we are sampling positions from map when we were visualizing the points. And that's exactly what we will do with the model here. Yeah. So here I create a new object which will be a visual effect. So I go to here, game object, visual effects, visual effect. Uh, uh, and here I create a new graph. So as a template, I go new, create a new visual effect. So go here to object, right click, or like go through the game object menu in the visual effects, put visual effect, and then on the visual effect, go to the visual effect component, and here in asset template, click new. That creates a new graph. Open the graph. And again, it's the default particle graph, which we don't really want right now. So maybe, okay, just disable this. And here, instead of the quad, okay, we can leave the quad, but change the main texture in output. Find the white texture again. And maybe increase the spawn rate to something like, I don't know, why not 160, and the capacity, make the cap. Yeah. Yeah, we want much bigger capacity, and so let's have it so that it's at least a couple of thousand. We will play with those numbers later. And now what we want is to initially set the particle position from the position texture, which we got from the imported file, and then set the color from color texture. So here we also disable set color over live. Maybe also disable set size over live. Then here to initialize, we put set size, and let's leave it like this. We will change it later. Oh, well, maybe no, 0.01. Now, like I said, we will be setting the position from the position texture. That's the same as what we did yesterday with the atoms, which had the position stored in a texture. And then we will set a color from a texture as well. So here we get a new block, set position from map, and we will get a random position because our position map has many points, more than what we have here in the spawn system in the capacity. Here, if you look into what's happening. If you click on that object, you see point count. This tells you how many points are in that object. There's 1 million points. That's a lot. and the position map and color map both have 1,000,000 points. I don't want to put the whole 1,000,000 points to the screen at once because maybe that wouldn't work. Maybe it would be too much. So I've just chosen to show to have 3,000 points at once. And so when I'm getting the position of these points, I will choose 3,000 random points on the statue and visualize them. Okay? No? Okay. So you remember yesterday in our graph with the scientific data, there was this graph which painted the atoms. Yeah? So you remember this from yesterday? So what was happening here? I created a particle and then I needed to know where the particle should go. And I was setting the position of that particle from a so-called position map. And what's a position map? Because if I want to read something, some bigger data from outside the graph and I need to put it to the graph, I need to convert them to a texture first. And a texture is a picture. So pixels, and each pixel has a color. And a color has 3 or 4 components, but 3 components, red, green, blue. And a position is also a vector which has 3 components, x, y, z. So what I can do is, if I want to store positions as colors, so I want to put positions in a texture, I just use the number of the position in X. So the first number, I store it as the amount of red, the position Y as amount of green, and the position Z as amount of blue. So I converted those 3 colors, X, Y, Z, to 3 positions, X, Y, Z, to a color, RGB. But to the computer, it's still 3 numbers. And now if I have a texture, which was actually storing positions, that means the colors, each of the pixels is actually encoding not here. Each of the pixels is encoding a position. So this was maybe not that well visible, but this position texture has like many colored pixel, but each pixel just encodes a number with 3 or a vector, 3 numbers. Yeah. And that's the same here. If you change the container type for the ply file to texture, then it gives you 2 maps. One is the position map. Looks like this. And the position map just tells you that what's the position of the points. And the second one is the color map, which tells you what's the color of the points. Yeah. So if you want to recreate this object, you need to know, like, if I go close to the object. Now, if my if the container type of the object is mesh, as it was before, then this is done automatically, but then we cannot use it in the VFX graph. So if you want to use it in the VFX, so if I go to close to the object, you see it's composed of points, yeah? And each of the points has some position and some color. And that's exactly how it's represented here. So this just stores the numbers as positions, and to each of the pixels, there's also a color. So what we want to do now is we take a set of random points. Oh, no, sorry, not here. So this is something stored in the file. Now we opened VFX graph and we need to connect the file to the VFX graph. And from the file, we will get a position map and a color map. So what happens in the VFX graph is I create a particle which is at 0, 0, 0 and has no color assigned. And I need to put it to some place and give it some color according to the model file. Yeah. So I choose those 3,000 particles randomly somewhere on the model. And for each of those chosen particles, I need to get the color and the position. Yeah. And those positions, where are they stored? They're stored in the file, in the position map, and the colors are stored in the file in the color map. Okay? So for that, I have function set position from map, and another will be set color from map. Yeah. So what I need to, again, I'm sampling randomly, and maybe I will need to randomly constant per particle. Yeah, constant per particle.
Can you come here for a second? I think here the project is completely broken, and VFX, like we can't create VFX. It just you probably encountered this error before. Like we create new VFX here. We want to open the graph, but couldn't find the routine. And I started to add this anew. It's still the issue. I feel like something was removed from the project, and now it's not. Okay, my shape is linear, but there are GFX file in the battery set position for map set files. Так, update particle чи output particle class should be more. Output particle class is in the way. It's the where you do the color lighting. The color lighting. Okay, now this it opens. I mean, there are errors, but what was it called? From the initial project. I might one has no work. Okay.
It's weird, but like. Okay, so set position from map. Now I need to create the attribute map. And again, I will get this from the textures. We are talking about 3D objects, but don't forget that the source textures are actually 2D, yeah? Both position map and the color map are just 2D textures of some size. So like a storage for the points. They could have put it in 3D texture, 1D texture, whatever. But the thing is that for the GPU, it's probably easiest to work with the 2D texture. So we will be sampling from these 2D textures, and those are just like, this is like an abstract representation of the positions of the particles, and this is the actual color of the particles.
And where did we get these texture sources from?
You click on the imported file, the apply file, and change the container type to texture. And then click apply.
So I created the state here and then change. No, just click on it.
Go to
Click on it and tell container type. Oh, duplicate. Oh, you have.
Well, I mean, you don't need to duplicate it. You can do it on I mean, you can duplicate it later. That's
Okay, container type. Type or texture. That one.
yeah. And then you click on the arrow near the name of the object, and you should see the two textures.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And they are automatically connected.
No. That we will do that now. So you go to the graph, and we add two textures, 2D textures to the blackboard. So one will be the position map, and the second will be the color map. And I connect the position map here to set position from map. I add another block, which will be set color from map. I'm still not sure if this is correct, but okay. And here I connect the color map.
It's an initialized particle. We have to set color from map.
Yes. Position from map, set color from map.
Index or random?
We'll put random. Maybe we will need random constant per particle. I'm still not sure. Because okay. Because now I'm not sure if it will take the some position and a color from a different wrong pixel. You know, I need that it gets the position and the color for the same pixel. Oh, we'll see. So if you do this and go back to the project, then here you click on the object that had the visual effect, and you need to connect the position map and the color map. So you need to have the object open and then connect color map here, position map here.
And I should have a visual effect on the object, but it's not.
No, you should have an object with this visual effect.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And then you find the file with the scan. And so now you see that it's actually only generating no, it works. You just like
I don't see an option of position map and color map in Photoshop.
you need to put them on the blackboard in your graph.
I have them and I zoomed them, like we did, I think. So value default particle should be changed to our textures. You mean here?
No. You have connected the position, yeah? You have connected the comma. So go
Here in properties, this is the effect.
You need to have the effect here.
Yeah, around. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no, the other way around. Yeah. Okay.
Here.
And yes.
I just miss what I have the duplicate with this text and have this graph, but how I combine graph and
You need to look at that somewhere here on
I think it's points last one.
yeah.
graph.
Yeah. And then position us. Yes. And color map. Yes. Now we should have open the laptop. Or I mean like or disable set velocity.
Lifetime. Що у вас мало бути?
Вийшло таке, я не знаю.
Де у вас нажміть escape?
Yes.
Де у вас цей ефект? Ось це visual ефект і цей new graph, ви його не перейменували, так?
І так.
Зробіть на секунду, я краще видно.
Go to the
Просто двічі на
yes.
Я думаю, що у вас просто не вистачає точок, тому я б зробив ось так. Півтори тисячі для 16 тисяч, 30 тисяч, так? Потім це можна прибрати, це не потрібно.
Maybe make it a bit smaller, 0.05 or 0.2.
Ну, наприклад, так.
Also, you will see that by default, Polycam gives you the object rotated by the 90 degrees. So you might want to
Основна проблема була в тому, що у вас
Мало.
була, ні, не мало точок, у вас була швидкість, і вони просто летіли. У вас цей вазон летів вгору і розвивався. Ви можете знати кількість точок, воно все одно.
you might want to rotate it
Я бачу.
not like this,
Ну, відкрита гра.
like this.
Треба брати просто швидкість.
And then in the graph, of course, you can increase these two numbers.
Що воно робить? У вас є set velocity, так? Вони додали швидкість. У вас ці точки сформували об'єкт, і потім вони кудись летять. Тобто виходить, дим.
50,000.
Тепер ми виробили швидкість. І не пам'ятаю, ну, можна зберігати, але не важливо. Ось, і тепер, все одно. Тому що ви, мабуть, оцей Тарас ефект? Так. Як Mass Effect. Position map. Ну, ви перетягнули, так? Так, щось це а що має бути? Має бути Шевченко. Так, має бути. От як. Я зрозумів. Добре, давайте ще дивитися, що ви тут робили. Ну. Оце ваші проблеми були. У вас вони росли і ще й винагрувалися зелені. Параноїда зараження. Так, де воно? Ось ваш Шевченко, тільки його дуже мало. Бачите, знаєте Шевченко?
Так, але
Ну, а тепер, якщо ви хочете зробити, щоб було більше Шевченка, ви тут збільшуєте кількість частинок із 1600, а потім до такого самого кольору. В сенсі.
там було чудове рожеве RGB.
Ну, ось тобто, ну, пограйтеся.
Як тепер можна зробити так, щоб він був отакий замість асфальту? Але ж
Це position map. Якщо ви хочете його перефарбувати, вам треба якийсь ефект додати, щоб його перефарбувати. Це просто старі дані. Це старі дані, дивіться. Є, по суті, у вас модель складається з двох масивів. Один масив даних – це положення точок. Інший масив даних – це кольори в кожній точці. І це вони і є. Те, що воно так відображається, це просто візуально так відображається.
Воно там вже, бачите, виглядає так само, просто здається.
Це просто Unity відображає по своєму інтенсивності, а насправді це просто координати.
Yeah, okay, so one thing, in the sample mode, make it constant per particle. Yeah.
Where?
In the graph, here,
Here,
like this random constant per particle. And now,
тільки він повернутий, тому що, ну, це можна знову повернути, трансформ. А вас удався скан у вас? Я пам'ятаю, на секунду.
Це у вас.
У вас.
Ну так, там типу ржавий. А він
now, of course, what you can do is like to change the sizes of the particles, for example, or you can play with the colors. So let's say instead of this set color over life, I can, I mean, I can put it there, then it's gonna be or you can also, there's like different ways to manipulate color. So you can multiply the original color with some other, then you're giving it some shade. So that's the multiply color operator. You can also use this set size over life, but then the default is very large. You can again do something like multiply size and multiply it by 2.
And after changing the color, you actually see the changes, correct? So I should have teach me
Yeah.
color of the light and like the set size of the well, size of the point, not size of the
So when doing these changes, and of course you can put some more complex graph to the right side. When doing these changes, think about what's happening here. So I'm initializing some particles which don't have any set position, don't have any set color, and then here I'm giving them some lifetime, so I know that the particle will get destroyed at some point, and I will get a new one from the initialize block. I set some initial size, then I put them in place. I take the position from the map, that is the file, my scan file. So I set the position from the scan file, that's the position map, and I set some initial color from the scan file, from the color map. And then I can modify these values either here in update or here in output. So when I get to this part or here, the particles already have the position and the color according to what was in the input file. And then I can modify that further either here. I can also decide on a different representation. A quad is basically like a sheet of paper. There's this you see that there is function orient to face camera plane. So it's a sheet of paper that's always, whenever you are, it's always turned so that it's facing you. It's a very fast way to calculate stuff. Also with the main texture, instead of this white 1 pixel, you can find one of the particles. So if you write particle, then there's this default particle texture, default particle system, which looks completely white. It's not actually white. It's like white with some, it's white, half transparent on a white background. But if you find this texture and then make the overall size a bit larger,
Oh, yeah, default particle system makes it look different in
Yeah. Then
the
then your object will appear to be made of those small dots. Here I changed the texture of the output quad to be this default particle system texture. Yeah. Okay, so last thing I'll show is the K-Giros graphs. So I to go to the package manager, and in the package manager under my registries, find VFX graph assets and install VFX graph assets. Window package manager. And I hope it's already there.
Which one? Cross effects.
And still hmm.
Oh, you need to
Yeah,
write
because
those dependencies in the JSON file,
no, totally.
I think.
Okay, DKV effects.
And the DKV.
Wait. Just check if it's the if it has what we need actually. No. Um. hmm, yeah, we need to get these files. I don't know why they're not in the package. We get the scope registry and everything.
I remember that last time we were adding a lot of entries to the JSON so that it was like repositories. Did you add those?
Yeah, but I don't want to do it this time.
Ah,
Use it under assets. Pass. But I don't have the press. Okay, so you've added this VFX graph assets package. So now we need to find some other package from K0, some that actually will have this.
just search for test bed.
Yeah, I'm just looking if we have some like new. Did we use this one actually?
No, we use test bed too.
That's back to, and that was the yeah. Okay, no. So for now, let's look for K0's DKVFX. Click on that, and then here download the code as a zip file. And when you open that zip file, under assets, under assets, grab the test directory and get that, just the test directory. Be careful not to import the HDRP asset. So just get the test directory and, well, where is it? Okay, I have to do it like this. So where to go to downloads, extract the file first, and then get the test directory, put the test directory into my project. And just check if okay, no. There were those like cool, easy. Yeah, you know what? I'll just pack it from the old project and send it via Telegram. Because what we want is not this. It's like a bit problematic, but we want these. Uh, uh,
File do we need to take when we unzip?
no. Forget about it. It's not. I mean, it's not gonna work, and unless we import a lot of other stuff manually.
So we won't.
No. Mm,
Just wait for the file in the Telegram. It will be a pack of several effects which are already like
yeah,
ready to
yeah.
be imported and used.
Okay.
And it needs this and this and this.
Although, of course, it is possible also from those repositories from KGR, it's possible to import them, but they have extra dependencies. And because now we don't have that much time, it's faster just to like give you the ready solution. But in general, you look at those dependencies, you add those lines to the special file in the project so that it knows that there are these addresses to which it can import that. And then it downloads it and it imports it, but it would take like half an hour.
Yeah. So if you download this file, right. And download this file.
Just right click, then it's the normal one, the normal menu.
Extract it and get the 4 folders that are there. And like you can
Show for a moment the names of the folders.
no everything that's in the file, you can actually take the whole folder and just drag and drop it here.
Yeah, but I accidentally copied it into the root folder instead of assets. So I'd like to delete and
Let's do VFX mesh surface,
here.
VFX texture surface and mesh.
All into assets.
Yes.
But create a new VFX folder in assets.
You can, you don't need to, but
Okay.
yeah. And here we create an empty object here, but like and take one of the take one of the effects inside. Choose, I don't know. I think lines was nice. So okay, it creates a new. We can create a new visual effect, and the template drop lines there, and you will already see that it has a inputs for the color map and the position map. So these are VFX graphs, and those graphs you can use as asset templates in a visual effect. And then you need to assign the color map and position map from, again, like this, from your file here. And again, if I open this in the scene window, you see that there was this error, or that the polycam scans sometimes are rotated by 90 degrees. So I rotate it to correct position. And oh, it's way up there. So yes, rotate to correct position, but also check and you've seen that the effects can be modified while the game is playing, so you can immediately see the results of the modifications. So now we see there's like lines appearing and disappearing. If you open the graph, you see that it's like a somewhat bigger graph than what we have what we had until now. It's somehow generating lines. Okay, lines have some different spawn system, which I won't explain here. But again, it's taking samples of the position. It's taking samples of the color, and then it's spawning lines with color multiplied by this. So you can change the way this behaves by changing the values here. In the color sample, I'm trying to find where strip capacity particles. So, for example, here I can decrease the lifetime. You can play with the different parameters here. Then you can also, for example, align the two objects. The one I created, the simple one, and this one. It was. You'll see. So I have the I have two objects which I created, one made of points, one made of lines. Yeah. So I first reset their positions to 0, 0, 0, both of them. Then I need to fix the rotation, like so that it's rotated by -90 in X, because sometimes Polycam gives you 90 degrees rotated output. Oh, no, sorry. No.
-90 is correct.
Sometimes. Okay, no, I will just like set everything to 0, 0, 0, both. Yeah. And here I create a new empty game object and put those game objects here. And rotate the resulting object. Now I can move. Now I can move the whole object somewhere in the view, and you see that it looks like the both effects are combined. And if you then go inside, you can turn off one of the effects or the other. Yeah. And of course, you can manipulate those effects from script. So last thing you can try is if you create a script, create C# script. Yeah, okay. We'll do that later. Okay, no, that's actually a good thing you can try by yourself. So create a C# script that will react to a trigger, and the script will have two game objects as parameters connect to it. And on entering the trigger, you will activate one of the objects using a game object set active function. And on exiting the trigger, you will deactivate one of the objects. So what you can then do is, like, if you make your trigger around that statue, that at the beginning, this object is deactivated, and when you come close, it becomes activated. Yeah. So you go, and meanwhile, I will set up the project for VR. So again, make a trigger. You can take the one of the triggers we made at the beginning. It will be something like this, a trigger where here you will just have a game object variable, and when you enter the trigger, you will call set active on the game object, and when you exit the trigger, you call deactivate. And I'll set up the VR. So I will just need the assets from everyone, right? It's not the right way. Hmm. Where are the controllers?
Here.
Yeah. I think we'll need to set up. Oh, it's already set up from last time.
Yeah,
That's
no, I did set up it today.
it's
The boundaries.
nice.
So just
I just need to so in VR, of course, you will notice some differences. Like it is something with the hmm? So of course you will not be like blocked by those objects. It can be made that way, but then it's like not really comfortable when walking.
Якщо ви запустите гру, посуньте.
So
Я не розумію.
if you have your scenes ready, just save everything and then find the folder where it is and zip the assets folder and send it to me through Telegram, and I will try to get it in here. It will, yeah, will.
Мабуть, ось це.